Tell us about this team so far. What have you liked? What have you seen?
Oh yeah, we have a huge amount of talent on this team. You know, guys from everywhere, a lot of different styles of play, but great group of guys. You know, everybody's good people, and it's a good merger so far.
Talk about your personal adjustments. Life in Hartford, Connecticut. What's that been like?
It's been cool, actually. You know, it's been cold, I should say, because I've been freezing. But I'm loving this new weather that's been going on this week. You know, I'm hoping that's trending to continue that way. But I like Hartford. You know, I live near the park, so it's really nice. I'm starting to see the beauty of Hartford.
What have you appreciated most about this team? You know, they've been looking to sort of establish a winning culture, but y'all have gone off to a really good start.
Yes, you know, everybody in the organization from the top to bottom is focused on winning, you know, and that's what this team was composed of, is guys who want to come in and win, and you're starting to see that culture build, you know, since preseason, and we're happy that it's starting to roll off, and we just want to continue going with that.
What have you appreciated about Brendan's experience and his leadership, especially with the Open Cup match that you have tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, Brendan's a great head coach, you know, tactically very sound. You know, he knows what he wants from the group, and he knows how to communicate well with the guys, and he's a great manager. You know, he just earns the respect of each and everybody in the locker room, and that translates on the field, and we're just hoping to continue that.
Talk about chemistry. How long does that take? A lot of new players. You're a new face here, the new coach. How long does it take to kind of get everyone on the same page? Do you do things off the field to kind of bond a little bit? How does that work?
Yeah, you know, chemistry building takes a while, you know, especially when everyone's pretty much new. But this group, the chemistry that's being formed already has been great. You know, a lot of the guys go out together, you know, to grab food, check out the city. You know, a lot of guys, they hang out, you know, in the locker room. So it's something that doesn't end, but it's been going, and it's been well. So.
UConn wins a national championship. There's a big parade in downtown Hartford.
Yes.
Is that something you guys feed off, and wanting to have a winner in town?
Oh yeah, it actually woke me up, that parade going on, but it was cool, you know, just to see that other side of the city. You know, everybody supporting UConn and their victory. You know, congratulations to them. But yeah, you know, guys are starting to merge with the city and the culture of Hartford, and it's been great to see.
So I'm curious, what is it about your experience, not just playing, but with the U.S. Open Cup in general, that sort of makes you feel prepared for what this team's capable of doing?
Oh, yeah, you know, with the Open Cup, it's anyone's game. You know, it's 90 minutes. You just have to focus on that, because you see upsets all the time. You see underdogs going far, you know, but with this tournament, it's just about coming in focused no matter who the opponent is, and that's the mentality we're trying to take into this game.
What about minutes? You're playing, you know, some tough games, Wednesday, Saturday. How do you balance that conditioning part of it?
Yeah, you know, as players, you don't focus too much on that. You let the coaching staff and the front office set the pace and the intensity of what they want. And, you know, as a player, all you do is show up and you provide the intensity. You know, you provide the quality of focus, and then we let the coaching staff dictate that.
You mentioned intensity. I know it's a big focus for you this season as a club, right? Pressing all the time. Last time out, late in the game against Miami, really alert, still pressing, able to pick up that loose ball, get that assist. Talk us through that. Talk through that, you know, how that is, be it late in the game. Like that.
You know, that's a big part of how we want to play, that intensity, you know, on and off the ball, offensively and defensively. And, you know, it takes some fitness to do, but as the season goes on, it's been good. And, you know, personally, I'm starting to pick up more defensive cues, you know, exactly what his coach wants from the group and me specifically, and how I want to defend and attack. And, you know, those are one of those moments. You know, the whistle's not over. You know, the game's not over. The whistle didn't blow. So, you know, I was just focused on winning the game, and I'm glad that I could help in that. You know. That's it. Thank you guys so much. Yep. Thanks.
I just want to ask you about Anderson. If you could kind of talk about what he's brought to the team and what attracted you to him as an acquisition.
Yeah, you see his energy here in training every day. He trains at the same level that he plays, which translates into games for other guys, not just him. So he really drives the training environment. He had 120, 130 games of experience in this league with a playoff team. That's really important. He knows how to win. He's, you know, ultra competitive. And I think he's been great for us. He not only has done the defensive stuff in midfield, but he has 2 assists, and he's just been clean in every game.
Tell us about the team overall, a few games into the season. I know it's early, but you like what you see?
Yeah, very early. We're going to get a stiff test over the next 3 games. We play San San Antonio, Louisville, and Charleston, and 2 of those away. Those are, for my money, 3 of the top 4 teams in the entire league. So that's great. We'll know exactly what we are and who we are after those games, but still with plenty of time in the season to reset if we need to on anything. But we're confident going into it because of the 3 wins from the first 4. And this Open Cup game tomorrow, it's really important to me, having been there last year in the final, to make a real run at this thing. So we have a good opponent tomorrow night in New York City, but we're also going to give some opportunity to a few guys in the team who maybe haven't started a game yet.
I was going to ask that, how do you handle minutes, because this is a tough stretch of games, as you mentioned?
It is, yeah. And we talk about having good depth in this roster and having built it for depth, and we have to trust those guys now. We purposely had about 15 preseason or friendly type games this year, from January to now, for that exact reason, to keep everyone on a 90-minute rhythm.
Brendan, when you think about what you've accomplished as a coach, I know you've got a veteran squad this year, but what are you impressing upon them about the importance of tomorrow's game and how that balances out the rest of the year?
Yeah, these guys know what to do in these situations. They've been through Wednesday, Saturday. A lot of these guys played in MLS, where that used to be very common, or playing in other competitions like the Open Cup, Leagues Cup, things like that. So I think they know what to do. In terms of energy, it's really important, and where the veteran experience, I think, really kicks in is those 4 or 5 normal starters that I ask to be on the bench and ready to change the game if they have to. That's the hardest job on nights like this. If we get locked up in a tight game or we're chasing the game at some point, those guys need to come in and be mentally prepared to flip the switch.
Are you familiar at all with Mitchell Tantor coming with San Antonio? I ask because he's a local guy. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, very good player. Respect for what he's accomplished in the league. He's a hard-nosed defender and decent with the ball. He's done a really good job at San Antonio, and he fits their brand. He kind of flings himself around, and they're ultra-physical team, and he steps up and fights every night for those guys. So, yeah, he's a player we're well aware of.
Have you gotten to know the Hartford sports fan at all? I mean, UConn has given everybody a bit of a ride.
Yeah,
people like
awesome
to celebrate champions and winning.
Yep.
Have you got a taste of that?
Absolutely. I mean, we showed up at the right time, the men's and the women's team in the Final Four, and the men going all the way back to back. That's inspiring. I went to a game a couple months ago myself with the family, and you feel it. You feel the energy. The city gets behind it. We want to provide more of that for the city. The city, could afford to have some winning franchises here.
You mentioned MLS, the opponent for tomorrow, NYCFC 2. They're coming off a couple of good results. They had a big win on the weekend. They had a good win in the previous round of the Cup. Jonathan Jimenez is 5 goals, I think, for them. How are you feeling about them? Talented team. Any players in particular?
Yeah, Jimenez in particular has been excellent, and we'll look for him tomorrow night. We'll identify where he is and make sure that we're actively defending when we have the ball in their half, so he doesn't get sprung like he did against Red Bull in the last round. He scored 2 of those goals in transition. That just can't happen. And outside of him, 2 of the players playing underneath him are really dynamic, young draft picks, guys that can change a game on a dime as well. But no one, I would say, that much better than anyone we see in USL on a regular basis, so we just have to respect the opponent. But Jimenez in particular, we'll have an eye on.
And then health-wise, I know you've had some injuries early on. How are you feeling about where the squad's at? Anyone newly available?
We're gradually getting back to fully fit. We're still probably 2 weeks away from that, but we'll get more availability in terms of selecting the 18 this week than we've had in previous weeks. All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks, guys.